here we go, boys. Quick video update of the Birmingham rollers. And the birds are now going on to round 2. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on how I like to breed my birds, and then also timing of when I like to add the second bull, when to remove the babies, when to add, and remove bulls. That way you get the best efficient timing as far as breeding goes. I've already pulled the young birds that we bred on the first round, which was a very slow round just because of the weather. Some of the birds got off their eggs, and then most of the pairs only made one baby. I'm not sure what was up with my first round. Most of them were only fertiling one egg at a time. So I did check this second round on some of the eggs, just to double make sure that everybody is going to be fertilizing both of their eggs. And I'll show you guys how I check. You guys can see right there, the eggs look red, so that means they're filled. You guys probably can't see as good as I can on camera, but you guys can kind of see right there, like the redness of the egg. So the egg is filled. First round, I don't normally check eggs just because I want the birds to do everything naturally, and I want them to get started on their own. So once comes second round, I do like to check all the eggs, because if we have a fertile one here and then we only have one fertile one here, I'll choose what pair I want to produce more from, and I'll take their egg and put it per se under this pair, and I'll mark the egg if they're around the same timing. So it allows, for example, they haven't laid their second set yet, but let's just say this bird was on timing with this bird. I would check eggs, and then you make your choice. If one's fertile, do you want this one to produce more, or do you want this one to produce more? So you'll take the good egg and put it under a different pair. It's a method I've tried before. One comes mid-season and you see those type of things. That's if you're checking eggs and just trying to get your program to move as fast as possible when breeding goes, because as we all know, breeding can slow down. Sometimes the birds, they'll get off their eggs or whatever the case may be. So just for reference purposes, I'll be showing you guys when I ban babies, and then also when I add the second bull, which is when I ban the baby, or if there's a set of babies, the day that I ban them is the day that the parents get a second bull, so they can move along faster on breeding. And the reason why I use this as good timing is because when the baby is old enough to get banded, that means that the baby is old enough to keep himself warm, because it already has the amount of feathers. And again, it goes back on timing, and that's when I ban babies. So it kind of just all falls together, and this is just my way of doing it, and it's just worked really well for me. So go ahead and ban this baby right now. Set the camera down here for you guys. So the way I do it is just real simple. You take one of the legs. I don't really care for what side the personal band goes on and what side the number band goes on. And then just like that, you pull the 3 toes like this, and then the 1 toe back, and then you just slide it through. And at this age, the babies are big enough to where the bands won't fall off. It can still come off, but it won't fall off just off the bird by the bird being in the nest. So once again, the day that the baby gets banded at our new bowl, which I already had ready here for the pair. And just like that, we get them to move a little bit faster along with the breeding. And they should start on the next round. So right now I'll show you guys the babies of the last round, which was only maybe 2 or 3. This round was also maybe, well, this is part of the first round, these 2 babies. So it was a total of 5. So here are the 3 babies we pulled out so far. What I like to do when I bring them into the kit box is I feed them 22% pellets. Let's see if we can focus there. There we go. And I just keep the tray full for them. They eat as much as they want to eat when they first come into the kit box, only because I want them to be as energetic and as powerful as possible, because I need them to be strong enough to be able to fly when they're ready to fly, and just give them the energy to look at the rest of the birds. I like to let some of the older birds out only because the younger birds, they get to watch what the older ones are doing, which is fly back and forth. Normally when I get a big group, maybe of like, let's say 10 birds, because that's about my biggest rounds, they come out about 10 to 12 pigeons. I'll take those 10 birds and I'll train them on their own without the help of older pigeons like these. What I'll do is I'll train the babies to the kit box, and if any of you guys have followed my previous videos, you guys seen that I showed the method I use as far as training babies. How to home them to the kit box, jump in and out the kit box, training them how to land, how to feed them, how to have them on control when it comes down to the feed, and just things like that. So if you guys need any help as far as flying tips, there is some more videos on my channel you guys can go back and watch. So I will be adding more videos here in the next few months as we are getting into breeding and flying more. So this is just the beginning of the season. As you guys can see, these babies aren't doing too much. They'll probably just watch these. Got about 10 of them up there, and they're kind of enjoying being out. So yeah, just a quick update on some of the breeding and some of the babies we have out so far. And this is what I like my older birds to do. I like them just to kind of take up on their own without me having to force them, because that just means they want to go up and fly. So right when these guys land, I'll bring them in. That was their first time landing. I'll bring them in after the second time they land, just because I don't want them hanging out all day. But I do have them to where they're hungry enough where I can call them in right now, which I'll show you guys. So my older birds, they already know this silver tray, and they know when this silver tray makes the kit box, they know it's time to eat. So here are some of them. Starting to come down as soon as they seen the tree. The tray. So I'll show you guys here. These guys are all on all you can eat, but I took them off the feed the last 2 days. I narrowed it down by maybe a quarter of the feed that I was giving them, just to get some control when I did start letting them out. So this is just a few of the birds that I had left over from last year, pretty much starting over this year. So this is exactly what I like. You guys can see the young birds here just paying attention to their older siblings. So I just can't wait to have these kid boxes filled with birds. Let's see if they react to the feed call, which I don't really expect them to, only because they've been hanging out in the kit box and haven't been flying too much, so they really aren't even asking for the feed. If anything, right now they're gonna feel the heat, and what's gonna drive them back in the kit box is water. So yeah, guys, this is the beauty of a trap door. When the birds don't want to all come in like they should, you just leave the trap door open and you should be good. So going to let the last two birds come into the cage where the old birds are, and here are the young birds, just kind of real relaxed, just looking around. So our next update will probably be when we pull this little guy out and that little guy there. We'll add them to the kit box, and then I'll show you guys the progress of the little babies that are a little bit older than these. And then hopefully we should all have them back in the kit together, kitting soon, and then show you guys some flying action. So as you guys can see right there, we got most of the birds in besides this one little guy here. He was the youngest bird from last year, so he didn't really get to learn the trap door, but I'll show you guys now. Then I'll try to get this guy in. The others shouldn't jump out. They should be pretty calm. This guy should fly in right now. So yeah, guys, here it is. A few of the young birds I'll be flying that I had left over from last year. I did just start up a members only So if you guys would like to subscribe, I'm going to be sharing a lot more information that I've been taught over the years by some of the greats. And I'll probably be doing like maybe one video per month. And reason I'll be doing it just for members only is because some of the information I'll be sharing is information that competitors can potentially use against me. You don't want to give the competition everything you know of the sport, because obviously it just makes it that much harder for you to compete against those guys. You can ask any athlete. They're probably not going to share their routines and what they do to prep for a competition, just because that's what gives you an advantage over the competition. So for those guys that are interested in some of the stuff I'll be sharing, which will be medication, training methods, and some of the stuff that I left out on the YouTube channel due to those purposes. So just being upfront and honest with all my subscribers and all my followers, and at the same time just trying to make it fun, and then at the same token take these videos a lot more serious. And if guys are paying for those videos, I'll make sure to make it worth your while. So I don't know it all, but I will be showing what I know, and from experience some of the things that I do know can help people. So, and then mainly it's just all about support. I'm not looking to sell my content, but at the same time some of my equipment's not free. You know, the time and effort I put into these videos isn't free. So if you guys would like to support me in that fashion, like I said, the ones that do, I would really appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna show you guys in return that I'll make it worth it for you guys supporting the YouTube channel. So comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think.